Hey guys, it's Core Ross and 106 News. Today we are looking at the mid-season roadmap update for Rainbow Six Siege, as one of the features is being delayed into Season 3 and one of the features is being brought forward into Season 2. So this here is the new roadmap. This is what the old one looked like, which was a Swedish Operator Battle Pass event, new target range options, new permanent arcade playlist, a rework of Consulate, and a rework of the Operator Frost. However, the Frost rework is being pushed into Season 3 now, with the new Observation Blocker gadget being pushed ahead into Season 2 to fill the gap. So that's quite nice. And Season 2, I think, is looking to be a very good and filled season, especially compared to Season 3, which has Quick Match 2.0 and a rework of Frost. So that's it for Season 3. It's going to potentially be quite a quiet one unless they have some sort of surprise that we don't yet know about. And if we go down here, we've got a bunch of info on what is going on. So first of all, they are confirming that the permanent arcade playlist is coming, and they don't really mention anything else other than, of course, it's going to have some different game modes, and they say it's going to have several new game modes. So we'll see how this goes. They also say enjoy the return of out of the ordinary matches. Now, we know that during the roadmap reveal at the beginning of the year, they did tease that there'd be something coming to this that was a bit of a surprise. So we don't yet know what that is. I have a couple of theories. My main kind of guess here is that we'll actually see a lot of old events return to this playlist, like let's say Showdown, Grand Larceny and stuff like that. Really good events that are maybe more just your kind of normal TDM, but would fit into an arcade playlist really well.
So we talked about permanent arcade in year 7. It is coming season 2. This is a permanent space where you can try out all of the different arcades that we have in the game. And when it launches, we'll probably add a little extra to it as well.
Then we've got our map rework of Consulate. Again, this is confirmed to be coming in with Season 2, so that is really good. And we've already seen little teasers of this. It looks pretty damn cool. I don't know how to feel about it because obviously it's a very old map, and sometimes they replace old maps with maps that I'm not quite as enjoying. But we'll see how this goes, and this is the only reworked map coming this year, so definitely looking forward to getting my hands on it. We've also got new target modes in the shooting range, again confirmed to be coming with Season 2, and this looks really, really good. Looks like a really nice aim trainer, and I think it's going to be a perfect addition to the shooting range, which will make it far more usable than it currently is. And just really happy to see that it's continuing to be worked on and improved. And now let's talk about the rework of Frost. So we got to see gameplay of this at the beginning of the year, and the reaction was very negative. So people will be able to self-revive in the Frost mats, but then they have a debuff that means they can't run for a long time. So it's not really a buff or a nerf to the Operator because it could easily go either way, but it has now been delayed until Season 3, and they do say that they're doing this because of that feedback. And I did wonder that during one of my recent videos where I went over all the features coming in the next season. I said, I wonder if they're going to change this rework because of that negative feedback. So what's going to happen is this will now be available in the lab TS during Season 2. It's going to show up on the test server and people will be able to play with the new rework before the new season comes out. So it's still scheduled with the new date to be hitting on Season 3, but we'll actually get to play it during Season 2 on the test server and see exactly how it plays out. Now, obviously, big issue with the test server is everyone plays knowing that there's new stuff on it, and they usually try and avoid all that new stuff. So of course people won't be dropping into Frost mats deliberately, and they'll be hyper aware that there probably is someone playing the Frost because of the test server pretty much only being up to test this rework of Frost. So yeah, it'll be hard to tell, but looking forward to seeing that with kind of mid-season timing of Season 2, but then delivered in Season 3. And then we've got the new Observation Blocker gadget. So this is now going to hit in Season 2 instead of Season 3. We did get to see gameplay of this at the beginning of the year, and it blocks vision for drones and cameras. It's a defender gadget, and normal players can just see through it. So attackers and defenders can see through it, no problem. But if you're on the cams, you cannot. And we'll see if this ends up being quite a different balance and technique as a secondary gadget for defenders. Very curious to see how this will play out, because they've done really good recently with like the barrel attachment balancing. I think that's gone really, really well and has made me use a lot more of a variety of barrels. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do with this new secondary gadget. And because it is a defender gadget, the defender cameras will be able to see through the blocker. So imagine a Maestro cam on the other side that can shoot out drones as they come in, very unsuspecting. Whereas if you walk in with your character, you're going to see right through it and see that Maestro cam sitting there behind the blocker. Then we've got a surprise here, which is something that everybody has been looking for, and that is a Grim buff. And although they say Grim buff here in the title, they do say Rework down in the text below. But Grim is getting buffed, and he's going to get buffed in 2 parts. So we'll see the first part with Season 2. So that's another thing to put on the roadmap here, is a little Grim buff. So looking forward to that. And then we're getting a second part in Season 4. And of course, Season 4 is 6 months after Season 2. So we'll get a buff here and then another buff here. So they say, we are actively working on Operator Grim to improve his impact. In order for you to get your hands on this rework sooner, we have broken this update into 2 parts. The first update is set to be released in Season 2 and the next one in Season 4. So presumably we'll get a little teaser of that Season 4 impact, and with the Season 2 buff hitting the test server and going live with Season 2. So interested to see how that is going to end up playing out. And we'll see if maybe the first buff is the big one, with the second buff being the smaller one, or maybe the first one's just a little buff and the next one's a big buff. We will find out. But yeah, very good to see a little surprise rework to Grim that'll be coming with Season 2 and Season 4. But that is an update to the mid-season roadmap for Rainbow Six Siege. And like I say, this is coming out real fast, with a reveal date being around about May 7th, with probably the release date 2 weeks later. And teasers for the new season should start to drop pretty much any time from now. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this new operator from Sweden is going to end up being like. And talking about operators, I've also got a video out right now which is going over Arachnia. This is actually an unreleased Rainbow Six Siege operator who was well into development and would have been released as the attacker in Operation White Noise instead of Dokkaebi, and she had a spider themed gadget. So I've got a video going over all the details we have about her, and also looking at alternate versions of Vigil as well. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.